We're going to start with Lee Turnbull at the far end. You just happen to be at that end of the alphabet and that end of the table, Lee. If you'd speak clearly and remember to introduce yourself, then we'll turn it over. You have 5 minutes.
Is it on? Yeah. Okay, so I'm Lee Turnbull. I'm Director for Area F, West Half Sound. I've been informed this week that Bill Hubbs has withdrawn his name from the Area F ballot. That's subject to Minister's approval. When that approval has been given, I will be acclaimed in Area F as the RD Director. I admire Bill's fundraising and financial expertise. He's a great community supporter through the Hospital Foundation and projects like the CAT scan. I wish him well in his future endeavors. The RD Board has made a lot of progress in the areas of climate change, water conservation, local control over resources in the 6 years I've been a director. I've supported those initiatives and encouraged the board to go further, faster, due to the increasing evidence of climate change. During my first term, we created a vision statement. We're a community of communities creating a sustainable way of life through citizen-driven decision-making processes committed to an enhanced natural environment with local control over local resources, a vibrant economy, and an enriched cultural fabric. I support that vision statement. And this term, we created guiding principles and strategic priorities that go along with achieving that shared vision of a sustainable government. I've been a supporter of smart growth planning since I attended a workshop more than 10 years ago. Planning for infrastructure needs like water, sewers, drainage, transit, roads, before we have a crisis because of population growth or climate change makes a lot of sense to me. I support moving ahead quickly with regional growth strategy and having more citizen involvement in the current land planning process that's being proposed. As a board, we've made a number of steps toward reducing our footprint and the impact we have as an organization on the environment. We've signed up right away to the Climate Action Charter. We've hired a manager of sustainable services. He's dedicated to researching and implementing initiatives within the regional district related to climate change and sustainability. We've increased transit to half-hour service. We have a 5-year plan which introduces community buses, so we use less of our own transportation and we get onto mass transit. As a board, we've been willing to match funding for several years if the provincial government would pony up some of the money, and they haven't increased their transit funding for some years, and I'm hoping now with the new green initiatives, the Premier will give us some transit money and we can increase to increase to more and more service for transit. Protecting our drinking water source has been a huge RD priority this term. We tried to work with the provincial government first, and while we thought we were working to get agreement, we had a 10-year moratorium. The Ministry of Forests extended the old Mac Blow permit to Western Forest products without our consent. And when the citizens made a complaint about the logging that was occurring in the watershed, we acted and formed an investigation. I think it was really good for the community to be able to discuss that issue. I think there's strongly held feelings on both sides of that. And I personally am sorry that our order was overturned. I would have liked the court to adopt the precautionary principle in light of the strong evidence on climate change and our need to protect our water sources. We're continuing to work on that problem using creative strategies. We have a water committee, and I think it's ironic that we're working against ourselves. This is Crown land. It's our provincial government we're arguing with here. This board has been in favor of protecting this water source for 30 years or more. And it's beyond me why the Premier hasn't been protecting water sources given his current platform on climate change. I don't understand why we're not looking at water sources. As a board, we've tried lots of strategies. Some work, some don't. We enhance the ones that are working. For example, I was on the board that initiated the toilet replacement program. It worked so well we had to give it more of a budget in the first year. We doubled it in the second year. In the last couple of years, we've added free shower heads, low-flow shower heads as well, and it's working really well. It's one of the best programs we have, and I support it 100%. 3 years ago, when we were building the community center, I supported the town of Gibsons initiative to upgrade to gold LEED standard. We didn't win the day at that time, but I'm pleased that now more board members are willing to entertain the concept that investing money up front in greening buildings through the use of solar, geothermal, it pays for itself in a very short time through reduced energy costs, especially now that the fuel costs have escalated. Thanks very much.
Panel members, you're going to get a sign at 1 minute. You've got a 1 minute to go.